In this presentation, we will discuss processing free and reduced price meal applications in the National School Lunch and School Breakfast programs. Throughout this presentation, we will be discussing important definitions, key requirements, collection officials, categories of meal benefit applications, the application distribution and deadlines, what constitutes a complete application, how to calculate income and determining meal benefit status, the transfer of eligibility, direct certification, and the timelines. We will be discussing a lot of different topics with acronyms throughout this presentation, so the next few slides will cover an overview of definitions. Assistance programs. The receipt of benefits by any household member from certain assistance programs conveys categorical or automatic eligibility for free school meals to all children in the household. Carryover of eligibility. When a child transitions from one standard counting and claiming school to another standard counting and claiming school within the same LEA between school years, the child's eligibility status from the previous school year is carried into the current school year for up to 30 operating days, beginning on the first operating day of school. Categorical eligibility. Automatic eligibility for free meals or free milk due to a child or any household member's receipt of benefits under an assistance program or a child's designation as other source categorically eligible, which can be found at 7 CFR 245.2. Community eligibility provision is abbreviated CEP. Rather than collecting school meal applications to make individual eligibility determinations, schools that adopt CEP are reimbursed using a formula based on the percentage of students who are normally certified for free school meals without an application, such as students who participate in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program and homeless students. Determining official. An LEA official responsible for determining children's eligibility for free and reduced price benefits. Direct certification is abbreviated DC. Determining children eligible for free benefits based on documentation obtained directly from appropriate state or local agencies or other authorized individuals. Direct certification of a child's eligibility status should not involve the household. The communication exchange should be between an appropriate agency and the state agency, LEA, or school. Direct verification. The use of public records as a means to verify children's eligibility for free and reduced price benefits. Direct verification may be conducted with assistance program agencies or appropriate officials of other source categorically eligible programs to confirm eligibility for free meals. Extension of categorical eligibility for assistance programs. A child or other household member's receipt of benefits from an assistance program automatically extends eligibility for free benefits to all children who are members of the household. This can be found at 7 CFR 245.6b7. Food Distribution Program on Indian Reservations, or FDPIR. FDPIR is a federal program that provides United States Department of Agriculture foods to low-income households living on Indian reservations and to Native American families residing in designated areas near reservations and in the state of Oklahoma. Children from households that receive benefits from FDPIR are deemed categorically eligible for free school meals. Foster child. An other source categorical eligibility program designation for a child who is formally placed by a court or a state child welfare agency. Free meal. A meal served in the National School Lunch Program or School Breakfast Program to a child eligible for such benefits under 7 CFR Part 245. Neither the child nor any member of the household pays or is required to work in the school or in the school's food service to receive a free meal. Homeless. An other source categorically eligible program designation for a child who is identified by the LEA's homeless liaison or by an official of a homeless shelter as as lacking a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Household. A group of related or non-related individuals who are living as one economic unit. The term family has the same definition as household under 7 CFR Part 245.2. Income eligibility guidelines are abbreviated IEGs. The family size income levels prescribed annually by the Secretary of Agriculture for determining eligibility for free and reduced price meals and free milk. The free guidelines are 130% of the federal poverty guidelines, and the reduced price guidelines are 185% of the federal poverty guidelines. Local Educational Agency is abbreviated LEA. According to 7 CFR 210.2, the term local educational agency refers to a public board of education or other public or private nonprofit authority legally constituted within a state for the administrative control of public or private nonprofit schools in a political subdivision of a state, or any other public or private nonprofit agency with administrative control and direction of public or private nonprofit schools or residential child care institutions. Limited English Proficiency is abbreviated LEP. A limited ability to read, speak, write, or understand English. Local educational agencies, schools, and other entities that receive federal financial assistance, including reimbursements for meals from the United States Department of Agriculture, must take reasonable steps to ensure meaningful access to their programs and activities by persons with limited English proficiency. Migrant. An other source categorical eligibility designation for a child who is enrolled in the migrant education program as determined by the state or local migrant agent program coordinator or as documented by an appropriate local educational agency official such as the homeless liaison. Mixed households. Those households that include children designated as other source categorically eligible and other children who are not, as found in 7 CFR 245.2. The National School Lunch Program is abbreviated NSLP. Operating days. The days on which reimbursable meals or milk are provided by a school or another program sponsor. Other source categorically eligible. Categories that make children automatically eligible for free benefits, either through direct certification or application. A child's eligibility for free benefits under other source categorical eligibility does not extend to any other child in the household. Overt identification. Any action that may result in a child being recognized as certified for or potentially eligible to receive free or reduced price school meals. Local educational agencies and school food authorities must assure that a child's eligibility status is not disclosed at any point in the process of providing free and reduced price meals. Reduced price meal. A lunch priced at 40 cents or less, an after-school snack priced at 15 cents or less, or a breakfast priced at 30 cents or less, served to a child certified as eligible for such benefits under 7 CFR Part 245. Residential Child Care Institution is abbreviated RCCI. This is any distinct part of a public or nonprofit private institution that maintains children in residence, operates principally for the care of children, and if private, is licensed by the state or local government to provide residential child care services under the appropriate licensing code. Runaway. An other source categorical eligibility designation for a child who is identified by the LEA's homeless liaison or program official as receiving assistance from a program under the Runaway and Homeless Youth Act. School Breakfast Program is abbreviated SBP. School Food Authority is abbreviated SFA. This is the governing body responsible for the administration of one or more schools. The SFA has the authority to enter into a legal agreement with the state administering agency to operate the school meal programs. School year, or SY. The period from July 1st through June 30th. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program is abbreviated SNAP. SNAP offers nutrition assistance to millions of eligible low-income individuals and families and provides economic benefits to communities. Children from households that receive benefits under SNAP are deemed categorically eligible for free school meals. Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TANF, a federal designation for state-funded program. Each state has its own name and acronym for the program. Categorical eligibility for free benefits is limited to beneficiaries in states with TANF standards that are comparable to or more restrictive than those in effect on June 1st of 1995. All schools participating in the National School Lunch or Breakfast programs must make free and reduced price meals available to all eligible children. As a reminder, no person shall, on the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be otherwise subjected to discrimination in the child nutrition programs. Each SFA or school food authority participating in the National School Lunch and Breakfast programs must have an approved free and reduced price policy statement on file at the state agency. When an SFA begins participation in the NSLP or SBP, the SFA must submit a policy statement to the state agency for approval as part of the application process. Once approved, the policy statement becomes a permanent document, though it must be amended when the SFA makes a substantive change in its free and reduced price policy statement. The state agency provides specific instructions in the development of the policy statement and in the policy approval process. Please refer to Appendix A in the Eligibility Manual for School Meals, Determining and Verifying Eligibility, for the requirements for the policy statement and amendments. As required in 7 CFR 245.5A, near the beginning of each school year, the public must be notified that free and reduced price meals are available. This notice must include the eligibility criteria for free and reduced price meals. The public notice must be provided to the local news media, the unemployment office, and any major employers contemplating large layoffs in the attendance area of the school. Copies of the public release must be made available upon request to any interested person. In addition to the required notification at the beginning of the school year, SFAs are strongly encouraged to share information about the availability of school meals in routine contacts throughout the school year. LEAs may post the application on school or district websites, provide information in newsletters regularly sent to families, and use other existing notification methods such as print, telephone, email, text messages, and social media to encourage eligible families to apply. LEAs must ensure that communication with applicants, participants, members of the public, and companions with disabilities are as effective as communications with people without disabilities through the provision of auxiliary aids and services, such as alternative formats, taped text, audio recordings, braille materials, large print, and sign language interpreters. Additionally, in order to participate in the school meal programs, program operators must comply with the USDA regulation non-discrimination on the basis of handicap in programs or activities receiving federal financial assistance. This includes ensuring children with disabilities have an equal opportunity to participate in and benefit from the NSLP and SBP. LEAs must take reasonable steps to ensure meaningful access to their programs and activities by persons with limited English proficiency. The public media release must include the same information supplied in the letter to households. Additionally, the public release must contain the federal income eligibility guidelines for free as well as reduced price school meals. The public release must also explain the following information. When known to the LEA, households will be notified of their children's eligibility for free meals based on their participation or a household member's participation in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP, the Food Distribution Program on Indian Reservations, or the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. When known to the LEA, households will be notified of any child's eligibility for free meals based on the individual child's designation as other source categorically eligible as defined by law. Children are determined as other source categorically eligible if they are homeless, migrant, runaway, a foster child, or enrolled in Head Start. If children or households receive benefits under assistance programs or other source categorically eligible programs and are not listed on the notice of eligibility and are not notified by the school of their free meal benefits, the parent or guardian should contact the school or should submit an income application. Households notified of their children's eligibility must contact the LEA or school if they have chosen to decline the free meal benefits. To inform families about the availability of free and reduced price meals, schools must distribute informational letters to the households of children attending the school. LEAs are encouraged to inform households that all school-aged children in income-eligible households can receive school meal benefits regardless of a child's immigration status. In addition, the letter may inform households that LEAs do not release information for immigration-related purposes in the usual course of operating CNPs. The informational letter must be sent to households before children begin attending school. The letters may be distributed by the Postal Service, emailed to the parent or guardian, or included in information packets provided to students. LEAs are also encouraged to provide applications and information about school meals in routine household contacts throughout the school year through school newsletters, social media updates, or other household notification processes. Informational newsletters may not, however, be sent to households at the end of one school year for the subsequent school year, nor can the LEA accept and process applications before the federally defined school year, which begins July 1st. Year-round schools, however, may distribute the letter in June. Direct certification allows LEAs to establish student eligibility for free meals using participant data from other means-tested programs, eliminating the need for an application. LEAs must ensure all households receive either a direct certification notification of their child's approval, or, for those children not directly certified, an application for free and reduced price meal benefits. Notification of a child's eligibility through direct certification may be done through email if the LEA has an email address for a parent or guardian. Households enrolling new students in an LEA after the start of the school year must be provided an informational letter, application, and materials when they enroll, and the LEA must determine an eligibility promptly. The LEA must notify the household of the children's eligibility and provide free or reduced price meal benefits to eligible children within 10 operating days of receiving the application from the household. If the LEA has the capability, the status of any newly enrolled children must be checked for participation in an assistance program and in other source categorical eligibility at the time of enrollment. When distributing the application materials for those children not directly certified, LEAs must prevent the overt identification of those children determined eligible through the direct certification process and who do not need application materials. Number 1. For schools participating in the National School Lunch Program and/or School Breakfast Program, the information letter must include the reduced price guidelines and an explanation that households with incomes at or below the reduced price income limit may be eligible for free or reduced price meals. Number 2, instructions on how to apply for free and reduced price meals, which includes local contacts and mailing addresses prominently displayed, an explanation of how to submit an application to a school or LEA office, and instructions for where to direct questions about the application process. Number 3, general application information. A household may apply for benefits at any time during the school year. Children of parents or guardians who become unemployed or experience financial hardship mid-year may become eligible for free and reduced price meals at any point during the school year. Only one application is required for all children in the household attending schools within the same LEA. No application is necessary if the household was notified by the LEA that their children have been directly certified. If the household is not sure if their children have been directly certified, the household should contact the school. Only the last 4 digits of the Social Security number of one of the household's primary wage earners or another adult household member, or an indication of none, is needed when submitting an application. Information submitted on the application may still be subject to verification. Number 4, an explanation of assistance program household eligibility. Categorical eligibility for free meal benefits is extended to all children in a household when the application lists an assistance program's case number for any household member, and households with any member who is currently certified to receive assistance program benefits may submit an application with abbreviated information as indicated on the application instructions. Number 5, an explanation of other source categorically eligible. Households with children who are categorically eligible through an other source categorically eligible designation may be eligible for free benefits and should contact the school or LEA for assistance in receiving benefits. Also, a foster child is categorically eligible for free meals and may be included as a member of the foster family if the foster family chooses to also apply for benefits for other children. Including children in foster care as household members may help other children in the household qualify for benefits. If non-foster children in a foster family are not eligible for free or reduced benefits, an eligible foster child will still receive free benefits. Number 6, an explanation of eligibility determinations. An application for free and reduced price benefits cannot be approved unless complete eligibility information is submitted as indicated on the application and in the instructions. A household may appeal the application decision using the hearing process described in the LEA's free and reduced price policy statement. Number 7, an explanation of carryover policy. For up to 30 operating days into the new school year, or until a new eligibility determination is made, whichever comes first, an individual child's free or reduced price eligibility status from the previous year will continue within the same LEA. When the carryover period ends, unless the household is notified that their children are directly certified or the household submits an application that is approved, the children's meals must be claimed at the paid rate. Though encouraged to do so, the LEA is not required to send a reminder or notice of expired eligibility. And number 8, the information letter must also contain the full USDA non-discrimination statement, which can be found on the home screen of the CNP website. Collection officials are a group of individuals who are responsible for the processing of free and reduced price meal applications, the verification process, and any appeals that occur throughout any of these processes. There are 4 types of collection officials. There is the 1, determining official, 2, the pre-verifying official, otherwise known as the confirming official, number 3, the verifying official, and number 4, the hearing official. Let's discuss the duties of each of these officials. The determining official determines eligibility status of all free and reduced price applications using the information provided on the applications. They will sign all applications as they process them. The determining official may not be the pre-verifying or otherwise known as the confirming official who will conduct a second-level review of all applications selected for verification. The determining official is responsible for the for school use only section of the application, which we will discuss more in later slides. Larger SFAs may have multiple people designated for the determining official role. Many schools will allow the manager for each school to be the determining official for all applications coming in at that school. Here are some tips for the determining official or officials. Writing on the application is okay, but use a different color ink to make it apparent that you are adding a note to the application. Also, please avoid using sticky notes, which can come detached from the application. Mark each application with a date and with received as is if the application is damaged or has scratch-outs on it. Never use whiteout on an application. If you make an error, strike through and initial and date the error. Again, mark received as is if you receive an application with whiteout already on it. Many people use date stamps to show the date the application was received. It's also recommended to label applications with EP if the application is error-prone for easy future reference. You can refer to our PowerPoints on verification for more information. The name of the determining official or officials is listed on the collection officials form submitted each year on the Child Nutrition Program or CNP website. During a review, the state agency will verify that the persons listed as the determining officials are actually the persons performing those duties. All of the forms submitted on the CNP website are living documents that can and should be amended when things change. If there's a change with any of your collection officials, make a revision so the form reflects accurately what is occurring in your SFA. Please be reminded that the determining official must sign each application or batch sheet after the eligibility determination is made. Next, we will discuss the pre-verifying official. The pre-verifying or confirming official will only verify applications that are selected for verification. They do not need to confirm the status eligibility of all applications as the determining official does. When applications are pulled for verification, the pre-verifying official will first check the application to confirm that the status was appropriately determined. This person may not be the determining official. However, the pre-verifying official can be reported as a software program that has the ability to check and approve applications. The next type of collection official is the verifying official. This person will be responsible for the overall verification process from October 1st through November 15th each year. This person will be responsible for the selection process, notifying households of selection, following up with households, reviewing all documentation submitted by households, and notifying households of the results of verification. Please note that the verifying official can be the determining official or the pre-verifying official. Only the determining and pre-verifying officials cannot be the same person. Remember, only applications selected for verification require a signature from the pre-verifying official and the verifying official. However, all applications or batch of applications require a signature from the determining official. Please refer to Verification Part 1 for additional information about the verification process. The hearing official is responsible for reviewing a household's challenge of a status determination. This person should be otherwise independent of any activity involved in the application, approval, and verification process. Often, a superintendent, business manager, or child welfare advocate will fill the role of a hearing official. Here is an overview of what we just learned. The determining official determines eligibility status and signs all applications. This person or persons may not be the pre-verifying official. The determining official is responsible for the for school use only section of the application, which we will discuss on future slides. The pre-verifying official is only involved in the application process during verification activities for those applications selected. This person must sign all applications selected for verification after checking to ensure that their original benefit status was correctly determined. This position may be filled by a software system with the capability of checking eligibility. The verifying official is responsible for all verification activities. This person may be the determining or the pre-verifying official. They must sign all applications selected for verification, as well as document all notifications sent to households, including phone calls, emails, or texts. The hearing official is someone who is otherwise separate from this process. It's an unbiased person who can review appeals at any step during the process. It's often a business manager, a superintendent, or a child welfare employee who fills this role. Now we will discuss the different categories of meal applications. The basis of eligibility is determined on submitted applications based on a variety of application types. Applications may include a SNAP case number or indicate TANF or FITAP participation. Applications may indicate a student is homeless, migrant, or runaway. An application may indicate a child qualifies as a foster child. An application may contain income-based qualifying information. And some households may indicate that they are a zero-income household. When a household submits an application indicating an assistance program, the applicable assistance program must be identified and the program case number must match the applicable assistance program. The child must be given free meals, and the LEA official should compare the applications with case numbers to the direct certification list to determine if any children listed on the application are on that list. When a match is found, the application must be disregarded, the household must be placed on the direct certification list, and categorical eligibility must be extended to all children in the household. However, when a match is not found, the LEA should contact the household for further clarification or verify the application for cause. As a reminder, SNAP case numbers have 9 digits. A complete assistance program application must include 1. The names of the children for whom the application is made. 2. A SNAP, TANF, or FDPIR case number or identifier for the children or any household member listed on the application. And number 3. The signature of the adult household member completing the application. Other source categorically eligible program participants, children designated as other source categorically eligible, can also be determined eligible for free meals through the application process. To determine other source categorical eligibility through the application, the household must submit an application indicating the applicable program. Only the individual children designated on the application as participating in an other source categorically eligible program may receive free meal benefits. Other source categorical eligibility of one child in a household does not convey free eligibility to other children in the household. If the household submits an application with income and also indicates other source categorical eligibility for one or more children, the LEA must confirm the children's status before meal benefits can be provided. If a household submits an application indicating both income and other source categorical eligibility, and the LEA cannot confirm the children's status, the LEA must process the application using the income information provided. If other source categorical eligibility is determined for all children in the household, the determination based on income is superseded. However, if some children in the household are not determined other source categorical eligible, the income determination remains in effect for those children. When a household submits an application indicating other source categorical eligibility, the application programs must be indicated, and the LEA official must contact the other source categorical eligible agency liaison to confirm that children are eligible for the applicable program. F&S recommends LEAs confirm contact information for the agency liaisons at the beginning of each school year. A complete other source categorical eligibility application must include, number 1, the names of the children for whom the application is made. Number 2, an indication of a child's categorical eligibility status, such as the application box for homeless, migrant, or runaway is checked. And number 3, the signature of a household member. A foster child is a child whose care and placement is the responsibility of a state or local welfare agency or who is placed with a caretaker household by the court. The definition applies only to foster children who are formally placed by the state welfare agency or court. This may include foster children placed with relatives, provided the placement is made by the state or local foster care system or courts, but does not apply to informal arrangements such as caretaker arrangements or to permanent guardianship placements, when such arrangements exist outside of or as a result of the state court-based systems. The state must retain legal custody of the child, whether placed by a welfare agency or court, in order for a foster child to be considered categorically eligible for free meals. LEAs are encouraged to establish formal procedures with state and local foster care agencies to facilitate direct certification for free school meals for foster children. States may use different terms and may have different definitions for children in foster care. For more information, you can reference Memo SP 17-2011, CACFP 08-2011, SFSP 05-2011, Categorical Eligibility of Children in Foster Care. Acceptable documentation for foster children include an electronic or computer match provided directly to the LEA indicating the status of the child or foster child without further application, a letter from the state or local welfare agency or court confirming the child's status as a foster child, documentation from a welfare court stating that the courts have taken legal custody of a child who has been placed in the foster care system, a list of children in foster care from the welfare agency or court, or an application that indicates the child's status as a foster child. A foster family may include their foster child on the household application for their non-foster children. This will streamline the application process and may help the foster family's non-foster children qualify for free or reduced price benefits on household size and income. This slide shows a visual for foster child applications. If the application is for the foster child only, then only the child's name, foster child status box checked, and a guardian signature is required. However, if the application is for both a foster child and other children in the household, the foster child is automatically certified as free, and the foster child may be counted in the family size for an income application for the remaining non-foster children in the household. A complete foster child application must include, number 1, the name of the foster child, number 2, an indication of the child's foster care status, and number 3, the signature of an adult household member. To establish income eligibility for a household, determining officials must compare the household size and the total household gross income to the applicable income eligibility guidelines. Families may ask determining officials to explain whom to include as household members or what to include as income when submitting the application. LEAs with additional questions should contact the state agency for further clarification. Households must report total income on a free and reduced price application. Income is any money before deductions received on a recurring basis, including earnings, pensions, or child or spousal support, unless an income source is specifically excluded by law for the CMPs. Please reference income exclusions in the Eligibility Manual for school meals for additional information. Gross earned income means all income earned before deductions such as income taxes, employee Social Security taxes, insurance premiums, and bonds. Current income means the gross income received by a household before deductions for the current month or the amount projected for the first month for which the application is filled out, or for the month prior to application. This income is higher or lower than usual and does not fairly or accurately represent the household's actual circumstances. The household may, in conjunction with the determining officials, project its annual rate of income. FNS does not set any specific requirements regarding the frequency, for example, weekly, biweekly, monthly, at which household income is reported on an application. While in most cases earners report income on a more frequent basis, there's no problem against annual income reporting. For more information, see SP 19-2017, Reporting Annual Income on School Meal Applications. Each household must provide the total amount of current gross income. The application must identify the source of income earned by adults or children as applicable and the adult or child who received it, such as wages or Social Security. Now we will discuss applications with an indication of no income. Each household member must be listed on the application even if they have no reportable income. Household members must be asked to report their status as zero income earners. This may be done by indicating zero or no income. A paper application must include a clear and easy to understand instruction that communicates to households that any income field left blank is a positive indication that there is no income to report. When no income is provided for any of the adult household members, the application is still considered complete. On web-based applications, LEAs may incorporate functionality that prevents applicants from progressing or making a final submission when fields have been left blank. This eliminates the possibility of blank fields altogether and is recommended as an integrity-promoting feature. Web-based applications may also include error or warning messages that highlight missing information and/or direct the applicant to fields where the information must be submitted. If local officials have knowledge or available information suggesting a household has intentionally misreported its income, including by leaving the income fields blank, the LEA must verify the household's application for cause. A complete income-based application must include the names of all household members. Number 2, the amount, source, and frequency of current income for each household member, adults and children. Number 3, the signature of an adult household member. An electronic signature is acceptable for web-based applications. And number 4, the last 4 digits of the Social Security number of the household's primary wage earner or another adult household member. Here we see a table describing different household income types. Income can include earnings from work, public assistance, alimony, pensions, and child support, or any other income that is regularly received. Earnings from work may include wages, salaries, tips, cash bonuses, net income from self-employment, or military basic pay, among others listed in this category. Public assistance, alimony, pensions, and child support may include unemployment benefits, workers' comp, SSI, alimony payments, child support payments, veterans benefits, among others. Any other income regularly received may include income from trusts or estates, annuities, investment income, earned interest, net rental income, or cash withdrawn from savings. USDA has identified several special situations LEAs may encounter when determining children's eligibility for free and reduced price meals. Please contact the state agency for guidance when determining eligibility in special situations, or refer to the Eligibility Manual for school meals in situations such as projected income for seasonal workers, income for the self-employed, income from wages and self-employment, income from rental properties, military benefits, foster child's income, a child's income, alimony and child support, or garnished wages and bankruptcy. Income excluded from the determination of a household's eligibility for free and reduced price meal benefits includes any cash income or value of benefits excluded by statute, such as the value of benefits under SNAP or FDPIR and some federal educational benefits. Payments received from a foster care agency or court for the care of foster children. Student financial assistance provided for the cost of attendance at an educational institution, such as grants and scholarships awarded to meet educational expenses and not available to pay for meals, loans, such as bank loans, since the funds are only temporarily available and must be repaid, and infrequent earnings received on an irregular basis, such as payment for occasional babysitting or yard work. Here's an overview of the information required for a complete application for benefits for applications with case numbers, foster child applications, and household income applications. As you can see, an application with a case number is required to have the name of the child or children, the case number, and the signature of an adult in the household. Foster child applications require the name of the child or children, a box check to indicate foster status, and the signature of an adult household member. An income application requires the name of the child or children, the names and incomes of adults, regular earnings for children, the last 4 digits of the Social Security number of an adult or an indication of no Social Security number. Please also note that if the space or spaces for income is left blank, the household is showing that there is no income to report. Next, we will discuss application, distribution, and deadlines. As discussed in the Key Requirements section, each year an application packet must be distributed to the households of all enrolled children. The application packets may not be distributed at the end of the school year for the next school year, and applications cannot be accepted or processed prior to July 1st. Applications must be reviewed in a timely manner. Whenever possible, applications should be processed immediately and must be processed within 10 operating days. This is particularly important for children who are not eligible to receive carryover benefits because they weren't certified as eligible for free or reduced price meals during the previous school year. According to 7 CFR 245.6, within 10 operating days of receipt of the application, an eligibility determination must be made, the family must be notified of its status, and the status must be implemented. Meal benefit status from the previous school year remains in effect for the first 30 operating days of the new school year. If an application has not been submitted by the end of 30 operating days, the student must be changed back to paid status. Here is a prototype application that can be found on the resources section of the CMP website. If you create your own application, it must contain all of the components of this prototype. Please compare them to ensure that no required information is missing. Alternatively, if you include additional information on your CMP Meals application, it may not be required for families to answer those fields in order to have a complete application processed for eligibility. If a student transfers within an SFA from a non-CEP school to another non-CEP school, the free or reduced eligibility must transfer with the student from the previous school. If a student transfers from a non-CEP school to a CEP school within an SFA, the student will automatically receive free meals. If a student transfers from a CEP school to a non-CEP school within an SFA, the SFA must provide free meals for up to 10 operating days or until a new eligibility determination is made. If a student transfers to a new SFA from a non-CEP school or to another non-CEP school, the free and reduced price eligibility may transfer from one SFA to another. If a student transfers from a non-CEP school to a CEP school in a new SFA, the student will receive free meals at the new school. If a student moves from a CEP school into a non-CEP school in a different SFA, the school must provide free meals for 10 operating days or until a new eligibility determination is made. For purposes of the CMPs, carryover refers to a child's eligibility from the previous school year being carried over into the current or new school year. According to 7 CFR 245.6, an individual student's eligibility from the previous school year, which is defined as prior to July 1st, carries over for up to 30 operating days into the new school year or until a new eligibility determination is made, whichever comes first. The 30 operating days begins on the first operating day of school. Operating days are the days on which reimbursable meals are provided by a school or another program sponsor. Carryover applies to eligibility established through a household application or through direct certification. Meals served during the carryover period are claimed at the appropriate rate depending on the individual child's eligibility status from the previous school year. Carryover allows students to continue receiving school meal benefits while families complete and submit as schools process applications. The carryover period is not intended to delay processing of applications. Instead, schools must process applications as they are received and promptly notify households of their eligibility status. Within 10 days of receiving the application, the LEA must make a determination and notify the household of its eligibility status. While not required to issue a notification about the carryover period, school officials are encouraged to clarify for families that the carryover will end after 30 operating days. School officials should inform affected families that they must submit a new application for meal benefits to reestablish their child's eligibility before the end of the carryover period. Now we will practice calculating income on income applications. The determining official must use these conversion factors to annualize income if income is given in different frequencies on the application. Weekly income should be multiplied by 52 for the 52 weeks in a year. Biweekly income should be multiplied by 26 for every other week throughout the year. Twice per month income is multiplied by 24. Since 2 payments over 12 months is 24 income payments per year. Monthly income is multiplied by 12 for the 12 months in the year. Each of these calculations is used to get an annual value of each income listed on the application. You should not monthlize the income or try to convert all income into a monthly rate. This is prone to errors in calculations. If the household provides only annual income, the SFA must ensure that the amount is an accurate reflection of the household's current income. Let's try an example. What is the annualized income for a person making $450 twice per month? If we refer to the chart at the bottom of the slide, we see that twice per month indicates that we will multiply the $450 times 24 to get our annual value of $10,800. Example number 2. What is the annualized income for a person making $1,100 biweekly? Again, it's very important that we choose the correct conversion factor from this table. Biweekly is multiplied by a factor of 26. So in this example, $1,100 times 26 weeks is equal to an annual income of $28,600. Choosing the wrong conversion factor can very well lead to the wrong eligibility status, so please pay attention as you are annualizing income applications. Example number 3. What is the combined annualized income for a family making $750 twice per month and $800 biweekly? In this example, we will do each income and then combine the annualized values. $750 earned twice per month is multiplied by 24 for an annual income of $18,000. $800 earned biweekly is multiplied by 26 for an annual income of $20,800. $18,000 plus $20,800 is equal to an annual household income of $38,800. When determining the meal benefit status on income applications, you will use the current year's Income Eligibility Guidelines, or IEGs. They're established for each school year, defined as July 1st through June 30th. You can find the most current IEGs on the CMP website under Memos. Household size and total income reported on the application are the basis for the IEGs. Here's a screenshot of IEGs from July 1st of 2020 through June 30th of 2021. You can note that it shows income limits for free and reduced price meals eligibility per household size. They also present the income limits annually, monthly, twice per month, every 2 weeks, and weekly. In this example, a household of any size would qualify for free meal benefits when $10,800 is the annual household income. If we take the second example, a household of 3 would qualify for reduced price benefits with an annualized income of $38,800. On page 2 of the prototype application, there is a for school use only section that is reserved for the determining official to make notes of eligibility determination. For scanned applications, a batch form with the determining official's signature is acceptable. And the pre-verifying and verifying officials will complete this section if the application is selected for verification in October. USDA's Eligibility Manual for School Meals is an excellent resource for all things related to student eligibility and applications. Section 1 discusses a general overview in a chapter entitled Getting Started. Section 2 discusses the basis of eligibility, including special situations for household composition and special situations for reportable income. Section 3 discusses establishing eligibility, including information on denied applications, special situations when determining eligibility, and reviewing direct certification for assistance programs. Section 4 discusses the school meal application and application formats. Section 5 discusses confidentiality and disclosure, and Section 6 discusses verification. As a reminder, there are 2 verification presentations, Part 1 on the verification process, and Part 2 on reporting the results of verification. Let's review the direct certification requirements for assistance programs. The direct certification process allows LEAs to certify children for free meal benefits without further application based on information provided by the state or local agencies administering SNAP, TANF, and FDPIR. Other source categorically eligible children, such as homeless children identified by the LEA's Homeless Liaison, are processed using procedures similar to direct certification. Although direct certification is only required with SNAP, expanding systems beyond mandatory SNAP matching to include TANF, FDPIR, and other source categorically eligible designations can help increase access among eligible children. Eligibility for free meals is extended to all children in a household if any member has been identified through the direct certification process as eligible for benefits under assistance programs. These children are also considered directly certified. LEAs are encouraged to take appropriate steps to identify children who were part of an assistance program household but were not identified through direct certification through available means, such as through the use of school district enrollment records. Categorical eligibility status is extended to any newly enrolled children who were members of a household with one or more members who were directly certified under assistance programs. For example, if a student beginning kindergarten resides in the same household as an older student determined eligible by the same LEA through assistance program participation in the previous school year, the kindergarten student would be eligible to receive carryover benefits for up to 30 operating days at the start of the new school year. All LEAs must directly certify children who are members of households receiving SNAP benefits. If the child is determined eligible for free benefits through an application and through direct certification, the application must be disregarded and the child will be considered directly certified. The date the application was disregarded must be indicated and the application must be kept on file. While other assistance programs may use a data matching technique, direct certification with SNAP must use an automated data matching technique. To facilitate this process, each state agency must enter into an agreement with the state agency conducting eligibility determinations for SNAP. The agreement must specify the procedures that will be used to facilitate the direct certification of children who are members of a household receiving assistance under SNAP. Completing the direct certification process may require the SNAP agency, state agency, LEA, or school to compare the student enrollment records and the SNAP benefit recipient records. This automated data matching technique will most likely be completed by using either state, central level matching, or local LEA level matching. In Louisiana, we use eScholar to complete direct certification matches. LEAs operating standard counting and claiming must conduct direct certification with SNAP a minimum of 3 times during the school year. More frequent direct certification efforts are encouraged and may help increase access to free school meals among eligible children. LEAs and schools operating a special provision must conduct a data match between SNAP records and student enrollment records at least once annually. According to 7 CFR 245.6b, at a minimum, LEAs operating standard counting and claiming must conduct direct certification matching with SNAP at or around the beginning of the school year, 3 months after the beginning of the school year, and 6 months after the beginning of the school year. Subsequent direct certification efforts are required for children who were not initially directly certified and who are currently determined to receive reduced price or paid meals. If the LEA has the capability, the status of any newly enrolled child must be checked for SNAP eligibility at the time of enrollment. If this isn't possible, the household must be provided with an application so the child's benefits are not delayed until the next scheduled direct certification update. Now let's discuss an overview of the timeline. USDA considers the new school year to begin on or after July 1st. No applications received prior to this date may have eligibility implications for the next school year other than carryover regulations, which refers to a child's ability to be carried over into the new school year for up to 30 operating days or until a new eligibility determination is made, whichever comes first. The 30 operating days begins on the first operating day of school. The first area of consideration is the public release. Around the start of the school year, the public must be notified that free and reduced meals are available at the School Food Authority, or SFA. Use the current school year public release form from the CNP website and keep all documentation regarding the submission of the public release. SFAs also need to submit to a local news media. The SFA is not required to pay for printing charges. Submit or post to an employment office in the enrollment area and local grassroots organizations such as food pantries, post offices, libraries, etc. After July 1st, you will also start to think about direct certification. User rights to access these lists must be requested from SIS for direct certification access in eScholar, which is Louisiana's method for direct certification SNAP lists. SFAs are required to run a minimum of 3 DC runs each school year, the first at the beginning of the year. eScholar creates matches based on probabilities, which are then compared with master lists. The determining official completes this process. Here's a brief overview of the timeline associated with processing free and reduced price applications. Paper applications must be sent to households after July 1st with a parent letter, application, and instructions on how to fill out the application. SFAs will use the current school year application and materials from the CNP website to send to families. If your SFA utilizes electronic applications, you will need to ensure that your software has been updated at least annually or as needed to make sure that the most current income eligibility guidelines are included. All applications will need to have a determination made within 10 operating days of receipt. The determining official or officials as listed on the CMP online application will complete this task. The determining official will use the current income eligibility guidelines or IEGs to determine the eligibility status of all applications. All households must be notified of benefit eligibility from direct certification, applications, or other source eligibilities. You can find USDA compliant templates on the CMP website. Your SFA will also be responsible for identifying situations where there can be an extension of benefits. When students match through direct certification or an application, benefits should be extended to other members of the household. Direct certification benefits may extend to students in another household with joint custody. Free meal status from foster or other source categorical eligibility, such as homeless, migrant, runaway, or Head Start, do not extend to other members of the household. Your SFA must maintain a benefit issuance list. This is a list of students that qualify for free or reduced price meal benefits for the current year. This list must include the student's name, date of eligibility, and benefit eligibility status. As stated on the previous slide, student eligibility status from the previous year is carried over into the current school year for up to 30 operating days or school days, or until a new eligibility to status is determined, whichever comes first. All households are entitled to an appeal. The hearing official oversees the appeal process according to proper procedures. Meal benefits remain in effect until the appeal process is completed. Verification is another important piece of the meal applications timeline, and the process is started around October 1st of each school year. SFAs will use the approved application on file as of October 1st for the verification pool. The process of notifying families and receiving documentation should be completed by November 15th of each school year. The state agency posts a memo annually notifying SFAs of which sampling method they are eligible to use for the school year. This is based on the non-response rate from verification the previous year. Confirmation reviews are completed by confirming officials who check selected applications for accuracy before the verifying official contacts the households. Confirming officials sign and date the applications or tracking tools. The verifying official tracks the verification process using the back of the application or state agency tracking tool. Next, the verifying official will send out a verification letter to the household. The prototype is available on the CMP website, and it will notify families that they have been selected for verification. Households must provide documentation to support the information listed on the submitted application, or the meal benefits will expire. The verifying official signs and dates the application or tool once completed. The verification summary form is due on or before January 10th of each school year. This form is completed on the CMP website when verification activities are completed. All records should be maintained for 3 years plus the current year. For more detailed information about verification, you can view the verification parts 1 and 2 presentations on the CMP website. Here are some other reminders of tasks and their corresponding timeframes. Free and reduced price meal applications must be sent out after July 1st of each school year, as that is USDA's definition of the start of the new school year. Eligibility status from processing applications must be determined within 10 operating days of receipt. Meal benefit status from the previous school year remains in effect for 30 operating days or until a new status is determined. CEP students who transfer to a non-CEP school within the same or a different SFA must receive free meal benefits for 10 operating days. Now we will discuss some frequently asked questions. Number 1. When should schools distribute information about the application, and when should schools distribute the household application itself? Schools should send the information letter to households very early in the school year, which begins July 1st. Applications should also be distributed on July 1st or soon thereafter. Distributing applications early in the school year ensures households have sufficient time to complete and return applications prior to the first day of school. Additionally, schools are encouraged to provide families with information about the school meals. Number 2, may schools require all households to complete and submit an application for free and reduced price meals? No, schools may not require households to complete and submit an application. It is the household's choice to complete and submit an application for meal benefits. Number 3, may schools include IEGs for free school meals in addition to including the IEGs for reduced price meals when sending out the application and any descriptive materials? No, the application and any descriptive materials distributed directly to households may only contain the income levels for reduced price school meal eligibility. This requirement is statutory. Number 4, when foster parents apply for benefits for their non-foster children, do they include their foster children as household members? Households with foster and non-foster children may choose to include the foster child as a household member. If the foster child is included as a household member, any personal income earned by the foster child must be included on the household application. This will streamline the application process and may help the foster family's non-foster children qualify for free or reduced price meals based on household size and income. The foster child is categorically eligible for free meals regardless of the eligibility of the foster family's non-foster children. Number 5, if a foster child is adopted, is the foster child still categorically eligible for free meals based on foster status? Once a foster child is adopted, the child is no longer categorically eligible for free meals based on foster status. However, due to year-long eligibility, the free eligibility status of a foster child would not change within the school year, including up to 30 operating days into the subsequent school year. The household that adopted a foster child would need to apply for meal benefits at the start of the subsequent school year to determine if the household is eligible for free or reduced price meal benefits. Number 6, is the housing allowance, Basic Allowance for Housing, or BAH, received by military service personnel counted as income when making eligibility determinations for free or reduced price meals? Yes. Income is defined as all cash received on a recurring basis, which would include BAH. In-kind benefits, however, are not considered income for the purposes of determining free and reduced price eligibility. Number 7, a child is not employed full-time or part-time, but occasionally babysits for a neighbor in the evening and on weekends. Must the household report the child's earnings from babysitting on its income application? No. Infrequent earnings, such as income from occasional babysitting or mowing lawns, is not counted as income and should not be listed on the application. Number 8, if an LEA uses a computer system to generate eligibility determinations, must the determining official sign or initial each application? The LEA, not the computer system, is ultimately responsible for determining eligibility for free or reduced price meals. The LEA must ensure their computer system meets all requirements and performs all functions as outlined in the Eligibility Manual for school meals with a high degree of accuracy. The determining official may sign or initial and date a separate sheet of paper that could then be attached to a batch of applications. Alternatively, the official may make a note to the electronic file. The computer system should be able to capture the original date of approval and the basis for the determination, such as household size and income, and update the status of applications to account for transfers, withdrawals, terminations, and any other changes. Number 9, What notification is required when an eligibility determination is made? Households must be notified of their eligibility for benefits. LEAs may notify households of their children's eligibility by letter, via email, over the phone, or by using an automated notification system. However, if an application has been denied, the household must be notified of the denial in writing through the post service or an email sent to the parent or guardian's email address. Number 10. May a household determined to be eligible for free meals at the start of the school year choose to submit a new application later in the year? Yes. While households are not required to report changes in their circumstances, a household may choose to submit a new application during the school year. The new application would supersede the original application. In this case, the LEA must explain to the household that the household is not required to report the change due to the year-long duration of eligibility. The change will only go into effect if the household requests the change in writing. If benefits are voluntarily decreased, the LEA must send a notice of adverse action. Number 11. At the local level, applications sometimes request a birth date or other information not required by statute or regulation. Should LEAs mark applications missing such information as complete? Yes. Since the additional information described above is not required by statute or regulation for a student's certification of eligibility for free or reduced price meals, an application, whether paper or electronic, must be considered complete even if the additional information is not provided. Number 12. Is the application considered complete if the racial ethnic data collection question is not completed? Yes. The household is not required to complete the racial ethnic data question. Failure to provide this information must not affect a child's eligibility for benefits. Number 13. May children's eligibility information be shared with the school guidance counselor? Yes, but only with household consent. Free and reduced price eligibility status may not be shared with guidance counselors without household consent. An LEA or school could send a letter to all households informing them of other school-based programs available to households. As always, please contact the Louisiana Department of Education Division of Nutrition Support if you have any questions. We can be reached at 225-342-9661, or you can email us at childnutritionprograms@la.gov. Thank you for attending this session.